Hola, hoy vamos a hablar sobre mi viaje a 1000 horas. Vamos. Hey guys, my name is AJ. What is up? And I'm back with another Dreaming Spanish update for you guys. And as you see, it is the big 1000. Yes, it is the big 1000 hours I have finally hit after 1 year and about a half months. I started on February 2024. Yeah, I started in February 20th, 2024, and now it's like yesterday, so on November 7th, I hit 1000 hours of Dreaming Spanish. So if you don't know what Dreaming Spanish is, pretty much it is a platform where they teach you Spanish using a method called comprehensible input. And comprehensible input is pretty much just watching content just slightly above your level. And through being able to do that, you were able to pick up on new words and grammatical structures through context, meaning no studying at all. And the videos aren't teaching you Spanish, they're just videos in Spanish. So they could be talking about whatever topics, and you are actually able to watch stuff that you're able to enjoy. Like now, I'm able to watch shows like Fire Force, animes, other shows dubbed in Spanish and be learning at the same time. But whenever you start from the very beginning, they even have videos for you guys. So people who have maybe never ever practiced Spanish in their life, or who have only ever done like 2 weeks of Duolingo, even have videos for you guys to start very beginning, just like I did. You can go back and watch my 50-hour update where I talk about the very first level and what it's like going from 0 hours to the first 50. And now I'm at 1000. So what I decided to do for today's video was do something a little different and take a little bit of inspiration from Angela Learn Spanish. And I'm going to be doing a Q&A for my 1000 hour update. So normally I, kind of just talk about what I did over the past 150 hours, but it's kind of been like the same thing. I mean, a few things have changed, which I'm going to be talking about, and I've looked at the questions and they're kind of going to answer what I have been doing in the past 150 hours and also what I've been doing for the past 1000 hours just in general. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question is, what is your CI routine, or comprehensible input routine? And pretty much, so what I do is whenever I wake up in the morning, I iron my clothes and I make lunch, and I try to leave my headphones like next to my bed or next to the counter so that I can just put them on and start listening. So in the morning, I'll get anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes or just at my house. And then when I leave and go to work, it's a 40-minute drive. So I'll get anywhere between 25 and 40 minutes on that drive on the way there and on the way back. And then while I'm at my work for lunch, I'll normally watch 2 episodes of whatever show or anime. So that'll be like about 40 minutes. And then sometimes I'm able to get it in a podcast while I'm there, so maybe another 20 minutes while I'm at work. And then after work and after I drive back, I normally go to the gym. At the gym, I might get 10 to 25 minutes depending on how I'm feeling, or if I'm even feeling like listening to any Spanish at all. And then after that, most of the shows now, or most of the stuff now that I watch is in Spanish, like in terms of TV shows. So whenever I get home, if I'm feeling like watching a show, I'll probably watch it. If I was interested in it during the day and I want to keep watching episodes, I'll keep watching it. Or if there's something new that I want to start, chances are I'll probably watch a little bit of content in Spanish after I get home. So maybe like 20 minutes, maybe 1 episode, maybe 2 episodes, maybe 40 minutes. It's kind of like a range. And I gave you all of these times in my day that I can get Spanish, but that doesn't mean that I always get Spanish during that time, or that doesn't mean that I take full advantage of the max length of time that I have available, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, I have 40 minutes to drive in the work in the morning, but there are some days where I don't listen to any Spanish on the way to work, where I just want to be listening to music, or I just want to talk on the phone, or I just want to do, something else. Or there are times where I only watch 1 episode during lunch. There are times where, I drive back from work and I don't listen to any Spanish. There are times where I go to the gym and I don't listen to any Spanish. So I'm letting you know that I'm not stuffing my day with Spanish, but I do have all these available times throughout the day where I'm like, okay, well, if I want to, I'll get some here, get some here, get some here, get some here. And I promise you, it all adds up. It 100% all adds up. On the spectrum of purism / non-purist approach, what were you in the beginning and where are you now? So this is kind of funny because in the beginning, I feel like we were all less purist in the beginning, because it's kind of a crazy concept to believe that you can learn Spanish by just watching videos that, you could barely understand. But it's true. It's true. And it works. So in the beginning, I did things like language transfer. I did things like Duolingo. But after like a month or 2 months, I kind of stopped because I was like, well, the time that I'm spending doing this, I could just spend getting another 5, 10, 15 minutes of content content in, and I think that'll help me more in the long run. But now I would definitely say I'm more on the purist side, purely out of laziness. Now, when I say that, I mean, when you really think about all of the non-purist activities that you're doing, they require more effort than just sitting down and listening or watching something. Like this method is literally the laziest method. It is the lazy method. It is the easiest method, and that's why I enjoy it, and that's why I've been able to stick with it. And I'm gonna talk about this further. Later, but that's very important, and that's why I think it's one of the best methods out there, because all you gotta do is just sit and listen and watch, and that's it. You don't have to do vocabulary cards. You don't have to do grammar study. You don't have to do all these extra things that would require extra effort. Now, you can if you want to. There are plenty of people that have in the past and they're still successful, but there are plenty of people that haven't and they're still successful too. So like, really, all of the methods work. It's whatever one you're going to stick with. And for me, the laziest way was the easiest way. It's the way to stick with it for the longest amount of time. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna stick with the lazy way. I'm a purist, but not purist because I think it's the best way, but purist because it's the easiest way for me to maintain the ability to do it every single day, maintain consistency. I'm just gonna pick a few from here. Do I try to spread the CI wisdom? Yes, I think everybody does. Everybody, I mean, I don't know about you, but anybody that I know that is learning Spanish, I tell them about dreaming Spanish. People that I don't know that aren't, or people that I know that aren't learning Spanish, I tell them about dreaming Spanish. People that I know that are just learning any random language, I tell them about comprehensible input in general, just as a form of learning, because it is a great way to learn. And I think it's something that a lot of people aren't utilizing or underutilized. And did I ever become so obsessed that I skipped social gatherings? No, I never skip a social gathering to get my Spanish in. Now, have I pushed it back? Yes. I've been like, hey guys, I got to get in my 15 minutes. I got to get in my 20, my 25 minutes. Just give me a little bit of time. And then after, I go and I hang out and we're all good. Now, there are some people that are willing to do that. There's some people that aren't. It's not that big of a deal if you want to or if you don't. But me, yeah, I've pushed it back, but I've never canceled. Looking back, are there things you wish you had done sooner? Honestly, I wish I just trusted the process sooner, because like I just said, there are so many people out here that have went through the exact same things that you're going through, have already done it, and are on the other side and it's working for them. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I wanted to make another YouTube channel. Like Dreaming Spanish has blown up very recently, within the past few years. Like 2 years ago, or a year and 9 months ago, whenever I started, I could probably count on two hands the amount of Dreaming Spanish channels or like update channels or the amount of people that were out here giving their updates on the journey. So that's why I wanted to start this channel, and I wanted to start making videos so that people can look ahead and be like, okay, all I have to do is just trust the process. All I have to do is just watch more content. And that's one of the things I want to get into, is that a lot of people, whenever they're struggling or they hit a brick wall or they hit like a wall where they feel like they that their comprehension is lower, whether it's for 1 day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, or any period of time where they feel like, oh man, like I'm losing motivation, or they feel like they're not understanding as much. Maybe like I said, their comprehension level has been lowered. And a lot of people say that the answer is just to get in more content. And I believe this. I think it's true. But there are some people that are frustrated with that answer. They're like, yeah, but getting in more content isn't making it any easier. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I want to let you know that first off, everything you're going through, I went through it. Everybody went through it. Whether it's your comprehension dropping for no reason whatsoever, whether it's you feeling like kind of like losing a little bit of motivation, whether it's anything, we've all been through it. And you know what we all had to do, and this is why we say this, is because there really isn't anything more you could do except for just get in more content. I mean, it's the lazy way for a reason. I was just talking about this. It is the easiest way. It is the lazy way. And all you need to do is just keep watching. Now, to make it easier on yourself and to make it easier for you to keep watching, I would recommend definitely watching easier videos. If you are at a point where you are struggling to maintain consistency, or you are struggling because of your comprehension level, go down. If you're at intermediate, go back and watch beginner. If you're a beginner, go back and watch super beginner, and watch those videos for 10 hours. Watch those videos for 20 hours. Watch them, for a certain period of time. I promise you, after doing that and coming back, first off, whenever you're watching those easier videos, your brain doesn't have to work as hard, so you're not as mentally fatigued from watching these videos. And two, because the videos are easier and you have more context, you're going to be learning more vocab faster anyway. So you get to come down, watch a little bit easier content, and then go back up, and I promise you, you're going to be able to understand that harder content that you weren't able to understand before more easily. And then I also want to say that whenever people talk about getting in more content, I want you to know that does not mean you need to get in more content every single day. Please understand me when I say this, that you do not need to force yourself to get in more content every day. What people mean when they say you just need to get in more content, they mean you just need to be consistent. You just need to pick a certain amount of minutes that you're going to get in every day, whether it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, 120, 3 hours, whatever. Pick an amount that you are okay with and just be consistent. Do it every single day. That's what they mean. When they say get in more content, get in more input, that doesn't mean get in more daily input, or it can if you want it to be, but it just means be consistent, get more input in over time. Because sometimes, like I said, you just need to be listening for an extra 10, 20, 30 hours, and your brain just needs a little bit of extra time to put stuff together. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be understanding the stuff that you didn't understand before. Do you plan on moving to a Spanish-speaking country at some point to really immerse yourself? Not necessarily to really immerse myself, but I definitely do want to travel. That's definitely in my future, is traveling. And at some point, I would like to live in maybe Spain for like an extended period of time. By that, I mean like longer than like a month. I would like to live in Spain for like maybe three months, 6 months, maybe even a year at some point in the future. It is a goal that I have and something that something I kind of want to just check off my bucket list. But yeah, in the future, I definitely do plan on it, but it's not going to be anytime soon. How do I balance reading and listening? So very recently, I started reading again. Now, I told you guys that my girlfriend bought me one of those graded reader books, an Ollie Richards like beginner Spanish book, and it was nice. It was cool to be able to read the entire book and get through it. But one, she bought me that at I think 450, 500 hours. So my Spanish wasn't as good. And two, I'm not that big of a reader. That's why I went to school for engineering, right? I went to school for engineering and I graduated in engineering because reading wasn't necessarily my best. I was better at math. I was better at science. So for me, what helps me get my reading in is instead of getting a book and being like, okay, I'm gonna sit down for 15 minutes and read this chapter or read this certain amount of pages, is to just have ChatGPT generate short stories for me to read every single day. And doing that, I've noticed I've been way more consistent when it comes to getting in Spanish every single day than compared to whenever I was reading a book. Like for example, I'll ask ChatGPT to generate me, or I was having it generate me stories up to 500 words, and I was just reading these stories I've been reading these stories every single day, and it's awesome, right? And what's great about it is that you can customize it to how you want it. If you want to be reading stories about fantasy, then you could tell it, hey, I want you to write me short stories about fantasy, and I want you to keep it all within the same world, which means I want you to use the same characters, same magic system, same locations. And every day I want you to write me a 500-word story or a 500-word chapter, or you know what I'm saying? Just write me another part of this story. And it's great, and I love it, and I love doing it this way. Or reading one of these little articles can literally take you 5 minutes, and that's what I love about it. It's just something that's short, something that's easy, and something that I don't need a lot of time to do it. I can just do it, and then if I want to keep on reading later in the day, hey, it's fine. But I can hurry up and I can, oh man, I need to read. Okay, after I get back from lunch, I'm gonna read 5 minutes, and then I can continue on with my day. And I think ChatGPT is a great tool because what I do is I told it that, right, I just got out of college, so I told it that, hey, write me a college story about the people going to college in Mexico and them discovering the city and discovering what college life is like. And I'm enjoying these stories really, really well. And you can tell it. You could even tell it. You could be like, hey, I want you to make the story a little bit deeper, or hey, I want you to include some romance in the story, or hey, I really like story. Or even if you don't have a story necessarily that you want, you could be like, I really like shows like Breaking Bad, or I really like shows like Attack on Titan, or I really like shows like Free Run. Can you create a world similar to these and write me 500-word stories every day? And it'll be like, yeah. And then you could be like, write it at the A1 level or A2 or B1 or B2, and you could tell it at whatever level you want it to write at. Right now, I'm doing A2 to B1, and I'm having it do, at first I started with 500 words, and now I increased it to 650 words. Now, and doing these little amount of words every single day might not seem like a lot, like a whole, like 500 words, that's like one page. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that many words, but compared to like, what's the alternative? Not reading at all. So compared to not reading at all to reading 500 words a day, you'll notice that, okay, after a year of doing that, after a year of reading for 5 minutes every day, you will have built up a whole bunch of words, and you will be way more used to reading than you would have if you didn't. Hey guys, so after recording this video, I'm realizing that this video is going to have to be split into 2 parts. So this is the ending of the first video, and I will see you guys in the next one.